She was called the woman who broke a fairy tale. For decades, the world despised her. Tabloids tore her apart. The public rejected her. And yet, today, Camilla sleeps inside a palace worth over £1 billion. She wears a crown that once belonged to Queen Elizabeth II. She lives surrounded by staff, security, and a level of luxury most people will never even imagine. So how did the most criticized woman in Britain become one of the most protected and powerful women in the world? And what has King Charles III quietly built for her behind the scenes? Because the truth is far more shocking than the headlines ever revealed. To understand the life she lives today, you have to go back to the beginning. Before the titles, before the crown, before the controversy, Camilla Shand was already part of Britain's quiet upper class. She wasn't flashy wealth. She was something else. Old money, inherited connections, deep-rooted history. Her great-grandmother, Alice Keppel, had once been closely connected to the monarchy herself. In a strange twist of fate, Camilla's story wasn't new. It was history repeating itself. She met Charles in the early 1970s. The connection was instant, natural, effortless. But timing got in the way. Life pulled them in different directions. They married other people, built separate lives, and yet, the bond never truly disappeared. For decades, it existed quietly in the background of one of the most public royal marriages in history. Then came the moment that changed everything. After the tragic death of Princess Diana, public emotion turned into anger. And that anger had a target. Camilla became the symbol of everything people felt had gone wrong. She was blamed, mocked, rejected. There were times she couldn't even appear in public without backlash. For many, her story should have ended there. But it didn't, because while the world pushed her out, Charles did the opposite. Slowly, carefully, and over many years, he began rebuilding her place in the public eye. Not loudly, not dramatically, but strategically. He invested in her image, her role, and her future, and more importantly, he never walked away from her. Behind palace walls, something very different was happening. A life was being built, not just one of status, but one of comfort, privacy, and extraordinary detail. Today, Camilla has access to some of the most iconic residences in the world. From grand palaces in London to peaceful countryside estates, every space is designed for both duty and escape. These are not just homes. They are carefully protected environments where every detail is controlled. And then there's the lifestyle, a personal team that manages every aspect of her day. From scheduling to wardrobe, from travel to security, everything operates with precision. Meals prepared by top chefs, travel on state aircraft, private spaces in historic locations. A world where convenience and luxury blend seamlessly into daily life. But what truly captures attention is the jewelry. Pieces that are not just beautiful but historic. Crowns, diamonds, heirlooms passed down through generations of royalty. When Camilla was crowned, she didn't just wear a symbol of status. She wore history itself, stones and designs that carry centuries of power, wealth, and legacy. Yet the most fascinating part of her story isn't the luxury. It's the transformation. Over time, the public perception began to shift. The same woman who once faced rejection slowly became accepted, even respected. Through charity work, public appearances, and a more human, approachable image, she changed how people saw her. Not overnight, but steadily. And through it all, Charles remained constant. His support never disappeared. His belief never changed. He didn't just give her access to wealth or position. He gave her something much more powerful: recognition, a place that no one could take away. Because in the end, this isn't just a story about royalty. It's about resilience, about standing in the face of public judgment and not stepping back, about a relationship that survived decades of pressure, scrutiny, and expectation. Today, Camilla's life represents one of the most unexpected transformations in modern history. From being pushed out to standing at the center. From criticism to a crown. From uncertainty to absolute security. And maybe that's what makes this story so compelling. Not the palaces, not the diamonds, not even the power, but the fact that sometimes The story the world believes at first isn't the one that lasts, because behind every crown, there's a journey no one fully sees.